Movies are like windows. They show us worlds we know and worlds we do not. For a long time, many of these windows showed the same kinds of stories. They showed stories about men and women falling in love. These stories are nice, but they are not the only stories. There are many other kinds of love. Today we are starting to see more stories about women who love other women. This is a big change. It is an important change. We are seeing a new kind of art in our cinemas. This art is beautiful and necessary. It shines a light on experiences that were once kept in the dark, hidden away from the main screen. These stories are part of what we call Sapphic Art. Sapphic Art tells the stories of women loving women. It can be a quiet look between two girls in a school hallway. It can be a grand romance that spans many years. It is about the connection, the understanding, and the love shared between women. Seeing these stories on a big screen is powerful. It tells people that these feelings are real. It tells people that these relationships matter. For many young people, seeing themselves in a movie for the first time is a moment they will never forget. It is a moment of recognition, a sign that they are not alone in the world. This essay will explore Sapphic art in today's movies. We will look at what the word Sapphic means. We will see why it is so important for these stories to be told. We will talk about some movies that are telling these stories well. They show the joy and the pain of Sapphic love with honesty. But we will also talk about the problems. Sometimes these stories are not told well. Sometimes they are not told at all. There is still a lot of work to do. We need to push for better stories, for more stories, and for stories that show the full, complex lives of all women. The journey of Sapphic cinema is just beginning in many ways. While there have been films in the past, the current wave feels different. It feels more mainstream, more confident, and more diverse. We're moving past the simple, often tragic narratives of the past. Filmmakers are now exploring a wider range of experiences. They are showing us that Sapphic love is not just one thing, it is many things. It is found in every culture, in every time period, and in every kind of person. This exploration is what makes modern Sapphic cinema so exciting and so vital for our culture today. The word Sapphic comes from Sappho. She was a poet who lived in ancient Greece a very long time ago. She lived on an island called Lesbos. She wrote beautiful poems about her feelings, and many of them were about her love for other women. Because of her, the word Sapphic is now used to describe love and attraction between women. It is a broad term. It includes women who are lesbians, who are bisexual, who are pansexual, or any woman who feels a connection to other women. It is a word that creates a big, welcoming space for many different identities and experiences. These stories are important because representation matters. When you see someone like you in a movie, it feels good. It makes you feel seen and understood. For a long time, girls who liked other girls rarely saw themselves on screen. If they did, the characters were often sad, or their story ended badly. This sends a harmful message. It suggests that their love is wrong or doomed. We need stories that show Sapphic love as something happy, healthy, and normal. We need stories that show Sapphic women as heroes, as leaders, as funny friends, and as regular people living their lives. Having these stories in our cinemas helps everyone understand more. People who are not Sapphic can learn about the lives and experiences of others. Movies can build bridges of empathy. They can break down stereotypes and prejudices. When a movie shows a loving, committed relationship between two women, it challenges the old, negative ideas that some people might have. It shows that love is love, no matter who it is between. This is how we create a more accepting and compassionate society. It starts with telling stories, with sharing our common humanity. Furthermore, Sapphic stories enrich our culture. Art becomes boring when it only tells one kind of story over and over again. Adding new voices and new perspectives makes our movies more interesting, more creative, and more true to the world we live in. The world is full of different people with different kinds of love. Our art should reflect that. Sapphic narratives bring fresh plots, unique emotional conflicts, and new kinds of beauty to the screen. They push filmmakers to think outside the box and create work that is both original and deeply meaningful. Today, filmmakers are getting better at showing Sapphic relationships. They are moving away from the old sad stories. We are seeing more films that celebrate the love between women. A great example is the movie Portrait of a Lady on Fire. This film is set in the past, but its feelings are very modern. It tells the story of a painter and the woman she is hired to paint. Their love story is shown with great care and beauty. The movie is quiet and slow, focusing on the small looks and gentle touches that build their deep connection. It shows their love as a powerful and creative force. Another important film is The Half of It. This movie is about a smart, shy high school student named Ellie Chu. She helps a boy write love letters to a girl named Aster, but as she writes, Ellie realizes she has feelings for Aster too. This story is sweet and complicated. It is not just about romance, it is also about friendship and finding out who you are. The film shows that sapphic feelings can be confusing and messy, especially when you are young. It treats Ellie's journey with respect and honesty, which is very important for young audiences to see. We are also seeing more diversity in these stories. The movie Rafiki is from Kenya. It tells the story of two young women who fall in love in a place where their love is forbidden. The film is full of bright colors and joyful energy, even though the characters face serious danger. It is an important story because it shows that sapphic love exists everywhere, in every culture. It also reminds us that in many parts of the world, loving who you want to love is still a brave and rebellious act. These films give a voice to women whose stories are rarely heard. These examples show that modern cinema is creating a richer tapestry of sapphic life. We have historical dramas, teenage comedies, and international films. Each one adds a different color and texture to the canvas. They show that there is no single way to be a woman who loves women. There are millions of ways. By telling these varied stories, filmmakers are helping to build a more complete and accurate picture of the world. They are showing us that sapphic love is not a niche topic. It is a universal human experience, full of beauty, complexity, and truth. Even with this progress, there are still many problems. One big problem is stereotypes. Sometimes movies still rely on old, lazy ideas about what sapphic women are like. For example, one character might be very masculine and the other very feminine. While these identities are valid, movies often present them as the only way for two women to be a couple. This is not true. Sapphic women are diverse, and their relationships are too. We need films to show this variety and stop putting characters into simple, predictable boxes. This limits how we see and understand sapphic identity. Another challenge is that many sapphic stories still end in tragedy. This is called the bury your gaze trope. It is a pattern where the queer characters, especially women, are more likely to die or end up alone and miserable by the end of the movie. While sad stories can be powerful, it becomes a problem when most stories about a certain group are sad. It sends the message that happiness is not possible for them. We need more films where sapphic women get to have happy endings. We need stories where they get to live full, joyful lives, just like anyone else. The film industry can and must do better. Filmmakers should hire more sapphic writers and directors. People with lived experience can tell these stories with more truth and care. They can create characters that feel real, not like stereotypes. Studios also need to be braver. They should invest in sapphic stories and promote them properly. They should not be afraid of telling stories that are specific and honest. Often, the most personal and specific stories are the ones that connect with the most people. They have a universal power. In the end, the goal is simple. We want sapphic stories to be treated like all other stories. We want them to be good, bad, happy, sad, funny, and serious. We want them to be epic adventures and quiet dramas. The point is not that every story must be a masterpiece, but that there should be enough of them for some to be. The future of sapphic cinema depends on our willingness to demand more. It depends on supporting the films that get it right and asking for better from the ones that do not. The picture is not finished, but we can all help paint a brighter, more honest one.